Go to the road and do stuff on him or something. I know I sent him a pattern leatherworking thing that I got from an old rig. So I gotta at least check in with him on that. I missed the mailbox because it blends in. What's up, Silas? Here. You already know Fists of Lightning. Oh, okay. Looks like I've done that before. Wow. Okay. Unintentional. Whatever. Renowned quartermaster. Just sell it for 7 gold. Not my problem. I have one of those wisps of memory, and I think I should probably give it to Theatar because it's Theatar. Just because.
Yeah.
Adventurers, learning the ropes. What, he's level 39 now. Like, nobody can catch it. Like, Nadia and General Draven are like level 17 and 14. I do not do this stuff on him at all. Defend Bastion. I do that. I mean, you're going to give it to me anyways because I looked at you wrong. So. We got.
I got the best prices you could buy there. You seek redemption.
Someone's left out to see the relatives. No sacrifice.
I stream Tuesday nights for me, so kind of middle of the day for the States. It's kind of hard to figure out when to stream because I don't know who would be watching. So I just stream at a time convenient for me. I know many of one of my teammates streams at like 7 p.m. our time here in Europe. So, and he has a fair number of viewers, but they're probably the early morning folks in the States, but it's about the same, about this time, but on Tuesdays. That's, yeah. I forgot, I gotta go do some stuff on Rutza. I looked at her bag and she's got like 4 memories to move in the jail I've just been collecting. I just never walked in there.
Wow.
Yeah, homegirl is being her. Yeah, on Twitch. I used to do it on here, but I realized that Twitch was probably a better place for it. So that's just the same username, but on Twitch. And yeah, like I was playing Subnautica. Now I'm playing Ratchet and Clank, the newest one. And I'm just sort of dinking around on that. Like, already, yeah. I have so much fun with those games. So it just. Would I ever change from 44? I mean, technically, the only thing that would cause me to change is if I was physically too big for it. And I don't plan on getting that big. Our jerseys stretch a fair bit. I'm definitely at the upper bounds, but I would have to still get much more offensive lineman sized to get. Yeah. But then I'd also probably be an offensive lineman and have to carry on one of their numbers, which is like the 50s through the 70s. The only reason I'm not necessarily 59 is because the last time I was given the choice to choose a number, I chose 59, and the only game time I got was offensive line. But that was back in the States, and there was a whole lot of unnecessary things going on with that.
Challenge. Use it to light the braziers that call the great houses to your hand. If you are fast enough.
I looked over it and roared.
Oh, it's yeah.
Domino's or Pizza Dom.
Let's just go with Domino's. Let's keep it simple.
Oh, free pizza day.
Free pizza day. Weird.
Every 6 orders, we get a medium. Free
Oh, it's not a day. It's.
Although I think they also have a coupon.
Okay, so we gotta call the Bastion, aiding Maldraxxus, which I'm here. Just
Oh, and cheesy bread. 2 medium pieces of cheesy bread, but we don't get cheesy bread, we get the super cheesy bread.
oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. As much as the Dutch love cheese, they still like the cheesy bread here is less cheesy than the stuff in the States. That's why they have the cheesy bread XL, I think.
No, I think they have the cheesy bread XL in the States too.
Hmm.
You want your standard double pepperoni?
Do they have Greek cheese as an option?
Yeah.
Good. Put it on there also.
You
Greek
want to
cheese.
just repeat your previous orders in?
Does that have spicy stuff on it? I don't want any spicy stuff today. I mean, if it's got jalapenos on it, no. If not, then okay, cool.
It didn't.
Okay. Zoom. Zoom. Zoom.
Goat cheese, extra pepperoni, black olives.
Mm-hmm.
And cheese crust.
Yeah.
Well done. Create dexterity and cunning all down.
Chronic sentries. Man, did not real. To be fair, that post about the Panacoken boat is like going kind of crazy. People are commenting on it and they're sharing it. It's yeah, it's crazy.
Sentries from the house of rituals keep this area under observation. They will find your secrets here. Destroy them.
Okay.
comes and guard us as allies. So then, we do what we can. Our forces require aid. All must serve the call of the Necrolords.
Okay.
Victory brings us one step closer to restoring the glory of Mount Jack. All of these have been battle tested. Everything must be earned. My arsenal is yours. Like
How fare your battles?
Mhm.
Don't mince words. Celebrate.
All right, flying mount time. Well, hidden orbos. I can jump downstairs. Wing guard Alamar, leaving already? Pretty much done so much around here anyways.
I trust you are not followed. Procure something of that.
You just grabbing all the data or something, or
Yeah. Pretty much. And Cheryl replied first. She says, well, my target dates were the 8th through 22nd. Well, West Coasters are going to be at the coast from the 22nd to 26th, so those times won't work for us, but whatever is convenient for your parents.
why is she going to the coast?
In the middle of winter,
Yeah,
I'll let it get away.
it's a fucking winter. Soul Forges. I don't want to be too fair, but let's do layer 6 on her. That'll work just fine. Skullus Halls, not Soul Forges. Whatever.
I had one more.
Oh no, she hasn't even been here since the new thing. It's not telling me about all the fun stuff. What do we got here? Execute damage is increased by 100%. Casting execute 30 times. I love it. I love that one so much. As if she can get any executes off. I mean, Christ. Charge.
Because I'm looking at individual.
Hello,
legs.
Chris. What?
Because I'm looking at individual legs of the flag, so I can chop around better. It suggested, hey, choose this other day, and you can fly for as little as 285 euros, which is pretty impressive. 3 stops, including 2 changes of airport.
Some places are just weird like that. What's with you, Chris? So many people commenting on that post. It's going to be just a pain in the butt to go through them.
My time is valuable, but there anything else?
Empowered voters didn't last too terribly long when I could freely execute. Regardless of health. do 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 do.
Okay.
Fucking- It feels so bad when they're like, I'm going to channel eternal torment on you. I'm like, spell reflect. And suddenly you see just their thing is hitting them in the middle of their face. And you're like, yes. I do love the fact that the phylacteries count as souls for fleshcraft.
Yeah.
Sure. Not really sure what that's going to do for me, but other than increase my auto attack damage by a lot more. Sure, yeah, my auto attack range can go up by. I don't even know what my range is now. But I can now go over melee range. I mean, it's cool. Increase the range of your auto attacks and auto shot by 10 yards. Auto attack and auto shot are increased by 50%.
Nice.
And Warbreaker. I have Warbreaker. Warbreaker. Yeah, I have Warbreaker. I don't want collateral damage or cleave, so we're going to make Mortal Strikes damage go up by another 25%. Mortal Strikes damage is increased by 50%. So called Mortal Strike for a reason. It's not a light tap. Let's just increase maximum health. Mortal Strike, more damage.
Apparently didn't get the memo about timing.
Oh well. Let's just keep acquiring Phantasma. That works so well. Just buy it all. Bam. Collect. Cooldown of Die by the Sword is reduced by 80%. Jesus Christ. Yeah, 19-second cooldown for 8 seconds. Whirlwind, Massacre. When is the Massacre, Helen? Whatever, I've got it. Give you this talent because you probably don't have it. Yes, the heck I do.
Do you want the plate or just box?
Just the box, I guess. Not critical. Horrible sound. The fact that I still have What's Its Bucket activated. Ravenous, plundered, requisition. What's that? Spell reflection lasts 200% longer and applies to the party? No. It'll still only work on the first spell cast upon me. Hey, how's your day been so far? Well, it's fine. I went and toured Central because it's under a lot of construction. And so I was trying to figure out how my train ride was going to be tomorrow morning. And I'm still a little unsure. So I'm doing a little bit of WoW, but I'm going to plan the route here in a little bit. Because dinner came, and it's hard to eat dinner, figure out a train route through the Netherlands, and do Torghast at the same time on a melee character. The cooldown of Mortal Strike is reduced by 20%. Yeah, I don't need that. Rage generation increased. Don't really need that. No. Ignore pain, absorbs additional damage. Yes, we will pick up another Mortal Strike. We will increase. We'll do that one. Okay. Let's see what's in here. Yeah. Thanks. Plundered Animacell. Heroic Leap gains 2 additional charges. Yes. I like that. The glory of Skyhold. Lovely. Your armor and block value increased by 10% of your mastery by 3. Mastery by 3. You know what? I don't care. I'm not going to throw the thing on him. I'm going to throw it on an actual enemy. There we are. Okay. Oh my gosh. It's just the. What the hell? There are 3 anima powers popped up here. Jesus. Okay. I threw one on one of the bigger guys here. Automatically open all soul cages. Sure, fine. That's the only one I can choose. Mastery or healing for whirlwind. No. Rage generation, berserker rage lasts longer. Rage generation. I have to pick. Be wary. You're not out of range. You just can't move very far because he's got you shackled at a distance. But I extended the range. There's more blade storming in the middle of everybody. Shard must have back up in fleshcraft. Yes, I know I'm being hunted. I'm going into this room. Because there's probably a lot. Oh, the tower sentinels over here. That's why. You know what? Here, everybody. All y'all, come here. You know what we're doing? Take the guy by the sword. Her. That. Blade storm! I was just a murder of everything. You have a chance to summon coagulated blood to assist you in battle when you receive damage. When they die or expire, you are healed for 15% of your maximum health. Aaron's like, tank please, love it.
Mm-hmm.
Dealing damage has a chance to spawn a sanguine globule. It grants me leech and primary stat for 10 seconds. That I like. Had one of the things I was being hunted was the Dreadlord. Moriaz, the red. Yes, I will help. Let's find buttons. Buttons! Movement speed is increased 60% next to walls. Damaging spells and abilities have a very high chance to heal me. Okay. Alright. Making sure we got everything. It doesn't have that auto loot capability because I'm literally here getting the tower knowledge thing. Okay, now we can run back out of here. Make sure we look around. We've got all the things done. Click the exit. Room over here. And go down in before. Oh, hunted. Oh, I'm being hunted, and like the Dreadlord wasn't it. I love how it's like a different Kevin that shows up every time.
That's fine. Out of washer on your live stream.
Oh yeah, no. It's, remove the damage done, but oh, I don't have any of them. Increase Phantasma earned, but also decrease damage done by 10%. Meh. Crit chance by 9. I know. Crit damage and healing. Fleshcrafts absorb 50% more data. That damage. Data. Exactly. Not what we're talking about here. More data. More data. So I wonder if Facebook having a mini outage today was them making sure that it could handle something like that again, like they forced it to happen after it.
Yeah, it's not unlikely, I think.
Buttons. Fleshcraft only lasts 15 seconds, but when it is consumed or expires, it explodes for 200% of the shield. And
That one was so much fun.
while Conqueror's Banner is active, deals shadow damage. I mean, I use Conqueror's Banner, which is not that much.
Between yes, because of magic firepower.
Yes, maybe.
Just falling down, looking through. Man, these airplanes can suck.
And just the Conqueror's Banner thing again. Yeah. And I have the War Machine. Fine. Do the Conqueror's Banner thing. I'm not going to get hit by a trap and mess up this run. Not that I need to worry about it's perfect. I'm on level 6. Spirit of the thing. Yeah, I was 4 minutes on that floor, and the par time was 8. Oops. I was not doing very good. It kind of sucks because, well, she doesn't have a lot of movement capabilities, unlike Raleigh. Sure.
May I tempt you with my wares?
I can't attack that target. Might be a good thing, girl. Might be a good thing. Don't stick around. Go drop off the box of many things.
You must stop him.
There. Not that one. Okay. So to get to Station Hilversum from Dalvendrecht, I have to, get me there at 9:36. Almost 20 minutes before the bus leaves. 22 minutes before the bus leaves, but the bus is every half an hour. So I don't want to be, anyways. It's okay, Theo, you can be late. No, I can't. Then, so I need to leave Dalvendrecht. I need to be at Dalvendrecht by 9:20. Dalvendrecht. Let's try from home tomorrow. Put me there at 9:15 in the morning. I don't want to take no fucking bus. Oh, metro in place of train. Oh, go ahead. So leave here at 8:30. Get to the tram halt. Strike the 26.
Speak up. I made it. You do the fighting. I'll do the fixing. The sooner I get home to my forest, the better.
Okay. Sometimes sounds Scandinavian when doing it. Yeah, yeah. It's probably because the people that are so overtly confident that they can just blow up a whole other language is the Midwestern folks. Oh, hey there, don't you know? Look, it's the painted kook in a boot. Like that's exactly who's going to do it. They're so confident that they know exactly how it's pronounced because they deal with all that Misagua, and all the various Indian names around there. Oh, apparently there was a fight that went on in the comments. Oh. somebody decided to see if they can casually troll in the comments. Oh my God, but the one thing Americans can't ever say is democracy. Yeah, whatever. Dutch is not an easy language. Yes, it is. Oh my God,
Yeah.
But at least they tried. I have more problems with German, French, Italian speaking their own language and being pissed we don't understand them. As bad as that is, Dutch is not an easy language. Not to mention, I'd like to see you try to pronounce stuff in languages you've never used in your life. Ooh. So we are looking at
Devours. This place has seen its share of defilement.
well, I'm here to get quests. Rotsa can definitely use an infusion of anima. It's looking like 8:30. I have to leave here. So
Forsworn. Devours. Place has seen its share of defilement.
and love videos. Thank yous. I don't know how to pronounce that. We're gonna call you swear. Because the rest of those letters don't make any sense in any Germanic language I know. Maybe Polish. Maybe Polish, but I don't know about that. Just eating dinner, playing WoW, waiting for folks to come in and chat on a Saturday day, evening, wherever you happen to exist in the world. I think maybe it's Sunday in Australia, but yeah, I think it is. But they're also like half dead asleep right now because it'd be like 6 in the morning or 4 in the morning. Hello, Chantal. Let's see, you saw my TikTok. It's going crazy, and my phone is blowing up right now. Holy crap. I was just trying to enjoy some coffee by the ferry. That's all. And this lady had to go by and assault my ears. It's just, I sat there just dumbfounded for a while. I'm like, how does your brain make that? How do you do that? But, you know, then I was like, you know what? This is breaking my brain. I'm going to put it on TikTok. So I went for a walk to think while I was in the middle of Central. And open up the pizza, fold that over. Okay, so now my chat is going crazy. Been there, neat by boys. Does anyone want to pick this up? I mean, we can, but most people are just the regular kickoff. Onside will be installed with me. Okay. Okay. Just close WhatsApp and get back to TikTok because it's crazy. Feel embarrassed to be Dutch. Yeah. Oh my God, that's just so complicated. No, it's not. You know, some people just feel like they need to make it complicated. They need to make it sound like it's complicated. I'm like, no, it's not. I've been there, done that. Like, I had enough problems personally with Polish, and that's kind of the easier of the Slavic languages, from what I understand. Dutch is not hard when you're coming from English, but there's like there's like the handful of things you got to remember. But once you remember those handful of things, you're good to go. Especially in the pronunciation route. I do find it weird how many people from these videos like follow me, and then I'm like, this is not my common stuff, dudes. I don't usually complain this much about the Dutch or Americans. I mean, it's funny, but I'm certainly not out here to be humorous. It just happens.
You're always nice to be talking to diagnosed.
I know. It's like, I don't know. That was okay. I'm trying to remember because I had something to do that day, and I needed to wake you up to go to a football game for practice.
We have 2017.
Yeah. Like, it wasn't too long. Like, you definitely had your eye stuff done well before that. I remember it was a football video because it was just a normal vlog, and I woke you up in the room, and then we went out and did stuff. Oh, I know Dutch people make fun of tourists. Like, I've told like minor stories to the guys on the team, and they've told me all their wonderful things that they've experienced throughout their entire life, even if it's Americans like in Mallorca or something, just being absolute dummies. But like, they're like, well, we expect that from the Americans. It's the Brits that confuse us sometimes because they're all over the spectrum, unless they're in Mallorca. And then they're just constantly drunk. Well, I mean, we complained about tourists in Portland too. Even if it was just other American tourists. Because they're like, oh my God. And people would like, people that come and visit Portland because, oh my God, it's Portland and PDX, win. And we're all sitting here like, oh no. Why do you guys go to Voodoo Donuts? Oh, it's so hip and chic. And you're like, stop. Stop, please. Like, so much fun comes outside of the really expensive tourist trap stuff. It's not like Portland is an entire tourist trap. You just went to the 5 places that exist as a tourist trap. Well, I have to make sure to get my Instagram to make sure everybody I know I was here. Please get out of the city. Please get out of here. That's partially why when our friend came out from the States, like, I immediately took him to Hilversum to get him outside the city and to see how people live, you know, that aren't trying to exist completely as whatever Amsterdam's, you know, perception of the Netherlands. It's just also, he's a big World War II, probably a war military buff, but specifically World War II, and he wanted to take a day trip down to go see Normandy. I'm like, bro, do you realize how far away Normandy is from Amsterdam? No, I don't. But it's just like right over there. And I'm like, no, Europe is not as small as you think. It's also not as big as you think. It's in this weird, oh my God, that's like 8 hours away on train. I don't want to get a hotel in France. Been there, done that. Ooh. So, in order to show him a World War II memorial, I pointed out what the Stolpersteins were all over Amsterdam and took him to Muiderpoort. No, it's a wonderful train station. I'm like, yeah, all the Jews were gathered here and then shipped off to their concentration camps. what? And I'm like, right there. That's what that sign says in Dutch. And I read it off to him and said, I'm going to go upstairs and get some coffee. Toots. And I ran off to go get coffee, and he's just like floored at where he's at.
Yeah. It was kind of amazing.
Like he had no idea. And that's the thing. He had no idea. And that's why I took him there. Because Americans know all the big places, you know, Brandenburg Gate, Normandy, Auschwitz. They know the big places, but they don't know all the little things that are peppered all over the place. You know. And I know there's stuff all over the countryside. I mean, to be fair, you can take them to Rotterdam. Oh my God, these buildings are so cute. Yeah, they exist because this was flattened like 70 years ago. Uh-oh. It was like the German tourists going around in Rotterdam. They're all sitting there, we're like, man, I would think for a European city that your guys' buildings here would be a little less modern. Was there a recent destruction? I'm like, you just like turn your head. Like you didn't follow anything in history, did you, bro?
You really just asked that, didn't you?
Moss worn, devours. This brings
Aaron is planning a trip to the States. I mean, he's planning to go. I don't know if he's going to get everything finalized now.
Oh, no.
Probably not, yeah. It's a bit soon. Otherwise, ticket prices are going to go up through the roof.
Mhm.
an emotion. How quaint.
Let's go help Popo.
Many reds.
Wow, wow, wow. Looking at the site, AFB, and what's the difference between tackle and flag? In tackle, we hit people. In flag, they wear a little belt with 3 flags on it. And you basically, if you remove the flag, it goes around the waist, obviously. And you play, if the flag gets, one of your 3 flags gets removed, you're considered dead. Whereas in tackle football, we don't have flags. We literally put the person on the ground. Usually flag teams are also smaller, somewhere between 5 and 8. Usually 5 or 8, not 5 and 8. Not really having good with 6, but there's, yeah. Anyways, they're weird. Our backup quarterback, Mikael, played for Crew's flag team for a while, and he'd hear them out practicing with regular, and he says they're just a bunch of pricks. I'm like, well, no, but that's the difference. Flag is more cardio, less breaking of bones. I mean, you can still get pretty injured because people can get injured with like their ACL running. So, but you still do route progression. You still try to, catch the ball. You're still turning around, but there's much less contact. Sometimes, depending on the league or whatever, there is barely any contact. Like you cannot forcibly even put your hands on someone. You just sort of have to stay near them until they get their ball and then pull their flag. It's a good intro and a good outro to American football. If you're still like capable of like running and catching the ball and stuff, but you're just like not in the mood of putting your, concussions on the line, then yeah, maybe still play flag. It's still got the team aspect and everything, and it's got championships, but and there is a there's a definitive difference that people are like, ooh, flag. It's I'm trying to figure out other sports have such a difference like that. Where they remove a significant. I think maybe one could look at hockey versus ice hockey. Yes. You're still basically playing hockey. You're just not, slamming people into the wall. It's not a sport that one takes lightly. They still wear shin guards, and the goalies are still kitted out to make sure that ball doesn't kill them in the face. But yeah, just one can say it. There's the definite appearance, and you're like, oh well, yeah, if you can't handle, regular football, just go play flag. Like that's how it's viewed in the States, and a lot of people say that here, and it's dumb. I kind of get the joke behind it, but after a while, some jokes stop being jokes to the point where they're just like, I think the part of humor and what makes something funny is that it expires. The joke expires. Like it's hard to make jokes about the American government at this point. They used to be jokes when we were kids, when we were teenagers, because it was funny how weird the world is. And then you realize that these are the same jokes you've been hearing for 40, 50 years. And it's like, these aren't jokes anymore. You're just stating reality and people are laughing to hide the pain. So is it football for Wachis? Yes, Wachis. He said there's definitively an idea that it is made for people who can't cut it. But in America, in the United States, one can say the same thing about club sports. Like what I used to play, it's called semi-pro. It's still club sports, but people look down upon you for playing a club sport because you can't cut it in with the big boys, with the real football players. And I'm like, what?
We have him. Sway. Hurry.
I know where everything's at. Come on, stop it. My bags are full because I have so much stuff in it. Remember that soccer scene is lame in the USA years ago? It still kind of is. Despite the fact that there's the national team, they're able to, but part of it is it's seen as a lesser sport because it's seen as a foreign sport. And the same thing applies to rugby. It's really dumb, but they're seen as foreign sports. Rugby, oh, that's the Pacific Islander sport. That's the Australian sport. That's like the British royal, the British rich people sports. When you send your kid away to boarding school, the All Boys Academy has a rugby team, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. It's like, Like I said, it's hard to top the big four, and that's weird to say that it's American football. So it's football, baseball, basketball, and hockey, because that's what we call hockey is ice hockey. So it's the NHL, the MLB, the NBA, and the NFL. There is MLS, but yeah, we do. Oh yeah, and Australian rules football is something else. But the same thing also applies to Gaelic football. Like there's 7, that's why I look up. There's like 7 kinds of football. And they all have like the prefix name and then football. The problem is that in respective countries, they just call it football because they, in the United States and Canada, when you say football, they mean American football or Canadian football, slightly different rules, but still basically the same. And then in Australia, when you say football, they probably mean Australian rules football. They might use the term footy for like soccer or something, and then everywhere else in the world they've got like foosball or football and all that happy jazz. But you're basically meaning association football. That's its name. And in Ireland, probably the same rough issue, footy versus football, because they have Gaelic football. And they have hurling, which is like ice hockey, baseball, and lacrosse all put together. It's messed up. That's the problem. Is people are they're utilizing a much more modern definition of something that has a lingering. It has a legacy name. It never changed from what it used to be. It used to be football. It was actually utilized by scoring more points by kicking the ball. But that got easy to do. Way easy. It was trivializing the game. So they didn't change the points of kicking. They just inflated the points of running the ball in. And then you could kick afterwards, because you got to give the kicker something. It is called football after all. And it is put into play by a kick, not a throw in the kickoff. And punting exists in the game. There's a lot of kicking in the game. It's just not the main method in which we use it because it evolved from rugby, which is called rugby football. Name. And in rugby, they do kick it. They have you can kick it through the upright, you can run it, you can try, you can down the ball. Why is rugby football okay to be called rugby football, but short for rugby when American football, they only kick the ball a little bit more than American football does. They still run it. They still toss it around with their hands. And like I said, you're just utilizing modern definitions for things. You're looking at it from a modern eye rather than the history of the sport. And lots of things still have legacy names that just don't quite make sense anymore. Like you could say the same thing about the District of Columbia. How do you have the District of Columbia when the Columbia River is on the other side of the country and DC was founded well before the river actually was? It's because Columbia is actually the name of the goddess of the United States of America. There's a lot of things that are named after Columbia with a U, Columbia. And so you have many places. That's why that province of Canada is called British Columbia, because for a while they split the line and it was British Columbia and American Columbia. We later called that Oregon and Washington, the Oregon Territory. But there's a lot of things littered around with the name Columbia because nobody knows that the goddess of the United States is Columbia. She's the embodiment of manifest destiny or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go figure. There's a Canadian on TikTok asking questions to Americans. One of them, why are your teams world champions when the only... So I get it from a football perspective. American football, my football, I'll call it that one. I get it from a my football point of view. And when it comes down to American football, it's really hard. It's really hard to compete upon the NFL in other countries. Many other countries play the sport, but like Canada barely is like a D league. You know, it's the lower division for the NFL. They're not, plus, like I said, they use slightly different things. The next ones up, the next countries that have sufficient leagues for, you know, in American football are usually college teams, if not Germany and Japan. Like, yeah, they're like college level teams. They would be able to compete with USA's NCAA. Nobody can really get in up front with the NFL. So unless we've got, you know, Team Japan or something that can go up against the Super Bowl winner for the title of the world champion, then man, it just sort of I understand it in terms of American football because it's really hard to compete with that. But in other sports, it's just American arrogance. I mean, you know, the World Series, I mean, it does. They should really pick up playing Japan. Japan is a powerhouse when it comes to baseball. They love that sport. They may even be better at it. But in order to get but like the MLB does actually have Canadian teams in it. And so does, and then there's multiple, I think the NHL also, National Hockey League also has some Canadian teams in it. But it's just, the NBA, I know like the Toronto Raptors are in the NBA. But that doesn't mean anything because, you know, the United States could possibly get the United States can get its butt whooped by, Team Netherlands in basketball, because basketball is not a horribly complicated sport. I mean, it's not a specialized sport. Basketball field all over the place here. Basketball courts. They got them outside. They got them in sport halls. They're literally everywhere. People know how to play basketball. And, you always see, and that's part of the issue with the Olympics, where you can crown yourself a world champion if your Team USA beat every other team and won the Olympics. Are you a world champion? Yeah. But those athletes don't qualify for NBA or something like that because they're paid professionals and you can't be in. So stupid. One team, Blue Jays, Expos are relocated to Washington and renamed. Oh, yeah.
So freaking weird. Doing a multi-leg journey in total costs like 12 or 1,300 euros.
Mhm.
Trying to find if there's a better deal if I leave on a different day. One-way trip, first leg, 2,100.
Mhm.
Literally the same flight.
Part of the reason why, when we were looking to get back over there before the world thing, we just sort of like planned trips. I understand trying to make it cheaper. I do, but sometimes it just gets so excessive because the whole system is intended to confuse you, because mere minutes can change how much a flight costs. I don't know why it should cost the difference between 200 and 2,000, but those are numbers I threw out there because I have no idea how much your stuff costs. You haven't really been talking, so.
I mean, I tried to talk to you about it and you didn't seem interested.
I was waiting for more information.
Okay.
Also, the moment you started talking, people came into the chat. Search flying from Brussels. Chantal said something in the chat about that. Because that's a quickie train ride. But yeah, in terms of this,
Expensive.
Hmm?
More expensive.
More expensive.
Yeah. But I have better options or more options.
Yeah. I mean, a train ride to Brussels, you've done that.
Yeah.
And then most likely, just like here, there's a quickie train from Brussels to their airport.
Yeah.
And planning this far out, you can definitely. I could find that here as soon as I get done with the pizza.
But yeah, it's a little more expensive.
Yeah. The cheapest flights are ridiculous.
Yeah. Like I went through and actually looked at the flights and the seat layouts for some of the actual cheapest flights, and it was like, yay, 28 inches legroom, and like 3 stopovers, 2 airport changes.
Yeah, this one,
Yeah.
Chantal just said, the cheapest flights are ridiculous. Amsterdam to Vienna, wait 18 hours, then fly to the US.
I'm not even seeing Vienna.
It's just
But yeah.
But that's a thing. Like one, you would fly in almost the opposite direction and then wait an egregious amount of time.
Yeah.
If you and I were going together and we had to have like 6 hours or something before we, we're like, oh, we're gonna well, didn't we like lay over in fucking Lisbon like for 3 hours that morning? Yeah, I mean it's not bad, but we still laid over. Like it was to the point where I was like, oh, well, let's wander around the airport. Don't really want to leave because we don't have to check out and check back in, and things are weird. Let's wander around and look at everything at the airport. Let's sit down. Let's have some breakfast. Where's the charge ports? Our phones are dying. Like it was 3 hours, and I was losing my shit.
Yeah.
And that's finally when we just decided, okay, well, fine, let's walk down to the gate and I'll get a beer. We walked in the main central area and just hung out for like an hour and a half. But like nothing was open. We left so early, like the McDonald's wasn't even open. And then when they did, it was like, oh, breakfast. And everything was
eggs.
Everything had eggs and was fancy with like a cup of coffee with a little cream in it, had a fancy name. Like, God. Like it wasn't even like cappuccino. It was like cafe au lait sans milk or what. Fuck off, guys. You're McDonald's. And then I like left you for a little while because I went over to that one store. And I was like trying to find a beer or something.
Yeah.
I feel like I should watch that vlog. I mean, part of it is I'm sitting here thinking like, my brain says, are you trying to get the absolute cheapest, or are you just seeing what's out there and you're falling down holes and it's going, and you're like, oh wait, if I actually do this, now you're trying to think if you can jury rig a trip, you can actually get it cheaper, but it's really just like, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up.
So I know that if I take too long, it'll be incredibly expensive.
Yes.
So I'm paying attention to stuff, figuring out what I want to choose, so that once everything's figured out, I can pull the trigger and go.
Okay. You may be over preparing.
I probably am. Because I'm also still very much used to not having any money.
That's true. And yeah, like I understand why you're pretty much going. I don't really care to go. I'm not going to be doing anything during football. while you're gone because football will be on break.
Yeah.
But it's entirely possible I won't eat for crap while you're gone.
See, you're already guilting me a little.
Why? But what?
It's possible I won't eat for crap while you're gone.
Okay. Half the time my stuff is bent on your dinners. Also, like with me, I buy enough steaks for both of us. I buy pasta sides for both of us. I buy taco meat for both of us. I don't know how to cook tacos without two of us. I've become indoctrinated in this relationship and it's crazy. But yeah, like, why would I'm like spending a little 18 hours in Vienna, like under that pretense? Like, I don't know. Even 12 would be insane. Yeah. Just even if you got in at 9 a.m. because you took a quickie little flight from Schiphol, it just I couldn't.
This repair job. Let's get back to Talcomar.
I've been searching for a flight to Baltimore, but there's no direct flight from Europe. Weird. Yeah, I don't know why. Like, you think, I feel like there should be more, but I also think, like, I don't know. I know it has something to do with, the concept of international flights and U.S. security and all that jazz, and they want to try to, keep all the. I mean, everybody has that.
Yeah.
You can't just fly into every city. That's why when you're going to Germany, you can fly to Berlin or Munich or Frankfurt. You can't necessarily. You can maybe fly to Cologne. Well, I flew to Cologne. No, I flew into Frankfurt.
Yeah.
I had to take a train to get here. But there's like obvious ports of entry. And it makes sense. But Baltimore, I mean, what's in Baltimore for you? I know what's in Baltimore for us. Your sister lives in that area.
I keep forgetting that Baltimore is there. Just no. Don't bother.
Okay. Okay.
I forget Baltimore is a thing, a place.
Where do you think your sister lives?
Maryland.
Okay. All right, we're just checking up. Okay. TikTok crush, complicated. All right. Everything is complicated when it happens to the United States.
Or sometimes.
The staff requires no earning find this
I mean, I don't think Baltimore is necessarily a bad place. We didn't go actually into Baltimore when we were visiting his sister. It just wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
What we did do is actually we went to a metro station and rode the metro into DC. Because I had never been to the capital before. I left the country before I ever went to our nation's capital. To be fair, you left the country by going to Canada. You went to
I
go.
left the continent before I visited the nation's capital.
All right. Mine just happened to be both. First time I ever left the country, I left the continent. I moved the fuck out. Fucking like guys on my team are like, "Oh my god, you never left the country?" I'm like, "Yeah, I didn't have a passport till I was 37." How do you not have a passport till you're like 37? I was like, "Easy. You live 6 hours away from an international border." You know about how long it takes to get up there?
Yeah.
Everything you need is within a 5-hour drive. And even so, you can still travel within your country. I mean, on like, Nebraska and stuff, people that live in the center, they're thousands of miles away. They're long, long, long way away from any international border. I still love the generalized Americans are dumb when they realize they don't. Yeah, it was that you don't need a passport to get into Puerto Rico. And they're like, why? It's a whole other country. Why do I need a passport to get into Canada if I can get into? Because they don't know. They don't know. They don't know. It's got to be a different country. They all speak Spanish there. No, they speak English. They just also speak Spanish. No, it's another country. It's just. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no.
Yeah.
I mean, youth football player, any advice? Enjoy the sport. Play it as long as you can. That's pretty much it. Unless I know like a position, I can't really say much because just enjoy the sport, you know, make friends along the way. Try not to die.
That's an important one.
It's a big one. It's a world leader. Needs to hurry it up. Else for advice? I mean, just enjoy life. Comes fast. I mean, that's just starting to be like old people. You know, what do you have advice for an old person to a younger person? Life goes by very fast, and pretty soon it all starts blurring after a while. I actually had to do a count to figure out how many years I was actually on the hurricane. I realized this was year 4, and I went, "Oh no! Whoa!" Like I've told some of the guys, I was like, "It's not the fact that we haven't had a season effectively for 2. What's going on, but it's just like, okay, charge the load stack. How do I do that? Okay, stop tracking that. Refuse anima. Charge the load stack. Do I just kill these guys? Tell me I killed I killed a bajillion of these guys and didn't even charge the staff while I was doing it. But the don't know no magic.
Don't know no magic.
Yep. Homegirl is dumb, she's just dumb as bricks. Good. Hearthstone. Level 55 reward. Wow. You're leveling up so fast. It's amazing. More strike.
Nearly deals for a friend of the trouble. I have many lucky loser, you like.
Okay. Going over here with a slaughter claw. Boop, 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 boop. Slaughter claw.
Power must always be tempered by wisdom. It is tragic that so many loyal archivists are no longer with us. They served the purpose as intended, and their wisdom aids us still. I never understand. Well, not on lost. Goodness my side more. Fueled by animal and
Yeah,
guided
we thought it was
by
gonna be
wisdom.
there.
The
Love these.
to every rebel,
All right, let's check some of this TikTok stuff.
our sacred purpose shall continue. Archivists of old, give unto the
No, people are still complaining. They're still fighting over that one.
though your efforts will be forever lost.
That many Americans think that they can just use US dollars in every American company, like Starbucks. Anywhere it takes US dollars because they do at home. I'm like, that's not how it works, but many Americans think they do.
Archivist Roma and Archivist Rosanara. May my wisdom provide guidance in our darkest hour, so Cornhill might once again witness the dawn. Sonora, no! We need you. For the purpose. Okay.
21,000 views already. And complain why the large coffee is small over here. Yeah, we don't drink from barrels. Feeling a little attacked by that one when it comes to coffee. Specifically, I'm totally okay with the like soft drink size and various other drink sizes. It's gotten me to understand that, you know, I can drink less with a meal. You know, plus, you know, Coke Zero is an amazing option here, or all that jazz. So, but yeah, I do miss like the infinite fillable cup of coffee.
Yeah.
For like $1.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it was $2. But here it's like $2.50. You get a sniffer, and that's it. I mean, yes, I completely understand the concept of like, well, we need to. You should probably learn to cherish your drinks. Yes, cherish drinks. Coffee is different. I mean, at least at Olive Garden, they like put an extra pot on your desk table. For some euros. Some. Refilling for some euros. Do you hear yourself? I get it. Americans are fat because they can infinitely refill soda, and that is so much empty calories. But coffee is not the problem. I found myself back in Portland, I would be sitting at Banning's. Banning's. Coffee endlessly. Tater tots covered in nacho fixins. And not hard apple croquettes. It's not the same thing.
Not even close.
Someone, Torin just killed consumption at 0 stacks. Me, good for her. But also like the McD in Rotterdam. Like there's only one in the entire city. I think there's even 2 McDonald's in fucking Hilversum. I know there's one out by the field where everybody kind of goes after games. I've been there once or twice. And then there's a sign on the train bridge going over the train tracks. As I'm coming in, it says, order now for delivery, McDonald's. One on Linebahn. Oh, okay. And like they can each, they can all kind of make their own little rules, I guess, but just, it's also part of the reason that, European stores can, why, European stores do so well is because they do actually have to pay for everything. There's, I still haven't even seen a buffet here.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do about that? There's a reason why Europeans aren't as fat as Americans. That's true, but sometimes a buffet is a buffet. You just need to get one of those. I mean, to be fair, even the ones in the States sort of suffer when you start mass producing food like that. Old Country Buffet is just it took a little while for me to figure it out and start thinking about, the whole like sensory thing, like, oh my God, what does 5 look like to you? Red, that sort of thing, synesthesia. But that's Old Country Buffet. I've never met food before that tasted so obligatorily square. It just isn't remarkable. Just never really stuck around for that one before. Paul Yor says he got a vision of a mall walker, but not me.
Got some meat on your bones, huh? Remember. Let us begin the ritual. Walter's glorious is not.
There's no time for walking. We must secure the ritual.
I should recover a few of these treasures. Yes, of course, sigil. Other relics later.
Sigil belongs to the Primus.
The Primus is order. The keeper of secrets will not be subdued so easily.
Take cover, people.
Enough to keep it protected. Another part is required. I will find it with another form of magic. Oh,
No, I just looked up Linebaum. That makes a lot of sense. There's the main shopping street of Rotterdam. Of course. They would experiment with it. Like, I'm surprised that like one of the McDonald's or something inside Amsterdam hasn't quite experimented with it.
no, you cannot leave it behind.
The sigil is more important. Get us out of here.
I can open the way back to Keeper's respect. I pray I can return. There's much to be. And together, this magic bound with the Primus' sigil. Dear Walker. Is you restored to the room carter in Tor.
Oh my god. She's there. I don't want to do it. You'll bring back the Primus and you're a nickel. I'm so part of this intro class. Like all my characters like halfway through it. McBee and Hausterheide opened a McDrive in the 80s. It was weird to Dutchies. Normal for USAF located around the corner. Yeah. The one in the Burger King that's down in like Holendrecht area has also a the drive-through. Same as the KFC. I mean, they're not new. They're not a new idea now, but they're. Aaron's over there chuckling because it's like the concept of a drive-through being weird.
Also, the fact that we call them it's a McDrive.
That too. Like they had to like brand it. What do you want me to do? Begin the collection? Oh, find the codex of memories before it's too late. Yeah, whatever. Signal brought to the rune carver. Taylor's efforts. I didn't even rescue souls while I was here. I'm just gonna scream my way home.
I keep everything well maintained.
Oh look,
Nothing but
5,000. Don't have enough for anything. Camp. Okay, I'm done. Not doing this. Yeah. Closing it a while. I'm just gonna punch that straight into Google. See what comes up. McDrive automatically sends me to McDonald's. McDrive, Amsterdam. Yeah, the one down on Spaklave does have a drive-through. This website mentions McDrive. It's also like a standalone store, just like the one out by the club is a standalone store. When they're a standalone store, they usually have a drive-through because they have the space wherever they're at. There are two in Hilversum. There are two.
Actually.
There's two actually. Hilversum McDonald's, A and B. One way out by the club, one in the middle of the city. In Kerkstraat, actually. But the one that's out. Is it by the club? Yeah. Yeah, okay, there it is. Because you come there, go up Los Strikes, take a left, go up Deep in Dal Salon, and then boom, there it is in the corner. But yeah, apparently there's some various other things. Like I'm always coming across like things that I've just like I take for granted that like
You don't realize you haven't seen until you see.
hash browns,
Right.
tater tots, nacho cheese.
I just ate. Don't make me hungry
I should be able to name all the food and not make you hungry.
Wissenschaftlich und professionell. So you know the weird side of small business TikTok that seems to be exclusively resin pyramids?
What? I'm wondering if he's talking about like pyramid schemes or if there's really something about resin pyramids. The weird side of small business TikTok that's exclusively about resin pyramids.
So you know the weird side of small business TikTok that seems to be exclusively resin pyramids? Yeah, I somehow ended up on that side of TikTok, but I didn't end up on the side of resin pyramid TikTok you might think I ended up on. You know, the one with the song? We all know the song. No, obviously I didn't end up there. That would be far too normal. Instead, I ended up on, I can't believe I'm saying this, resin pyramid as a tribute to my dead mother TikTok. And don't get me wrong, the person who received it was really happy with it. It was super touched. It was kind of sweet. But I'm just going to say it. If someone does this to me after I've, I will 100% come back as a ghost. I will haunt you. I will purposefully become a demon. Your walls will be bleeding. You are not getting your security deposit back, sweetie. There will be Halloween 24/7 in your house, and it's not going to be the fun kind. I will end your bloodline. So you know that weird.
So resin pyramid is the making the these.
Mhm.
That's it. But apparently they're easy to make, so people are selling them as not. And did you see the TikTok about the guy meeting Governor Abbott in Texas? No, I don't see nearly enough USA because I sometimes.
I just want to say that I love how Elizabeth Olsen is like one of the few actresses to ever play a superhero with like telekinetic-based powers and get like the presentation of the power right to the point where people emulate it casually. Like, I don't think any.
Pro tip when someone is making you uncomfortable. Pro tip.
Hierna begint Albert Heijn dus hele uitleg te geven over hoe.
Save us. We don't need saving. I'm not trying to save you. No one said that you need saving.
Oh no.
Oh my God, is that the governor? Are you the governor? Oh my God. Why would you sign a law telling women whether they can have an abortion or not? That makes you a douchebag. Oh my God, is that the governor? Are you the governor?
I didn't realize that Governor Abbott was in a wheelchair. That's how I
Yeah.
Huh? In recess for high risk of cardiac arrest. Looks down, Apple Watch. Time for you to stand up, walk around, get a little bit of exercise.
So what in the world happens when she fights the unbeatable squirrel girl? Y'all, they have cracked the code. Just get lost at sea for 29 days. Get some fucking peace from COVID. They were lost for 29 days, and the thing that they were happy about is they didn't hear a thing about COVID. Find me both. Y'all, they have cracked the code.
Do you wash your rice though? Oh yes, I always wash my rice. Pours like 2 cups of rice in a strainer, swirls it with some water, sprinkles some Dawn dish soap over it, massages it in underneath the thing.
Excuse me? Not with dish soap? You imbecile!
Like, I understand that a lot of people are like, in your rice cooker, you got to wash your rice because it gets all the starch off. That's why your water's so cloudy. And I'm like, but I like it that way. Well, it'll be better. I don't need it to be better. I want it that way. You do not understand autism. What is that?
Julia Sargeras, our spouse.
Oh, you're just soloing it? Okay. All right. Are you on Mythic?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You might have some issues because I think one of the bosses has a cray-cray mechanic. No, he does because it's killed Jaden. You and I went and tried to do that. It's killed Jaden at the end. He would like one-shot us. I mean, maybe you could solo it, but I'm not sure about that.
I can't wait to go to prison for being a Christian, because then I'll go to prison with my fellow Christians, and then the guards will become Christian because we're talking to them about Jesus, and then they'll go to prison, and the new guards will come, and then they'll become a Christian, and they'll get arrested. It's just an ongoing thing. It'll be super fun. It's going to be great. I'll bring the popcorn. I can't wait.
Top things from Finnish perspective, which has felt odd after moving to the Netherlands. Part 2. Many places do not accept cards like Visa, Amex, MC, which is quite annoying when settling into the country.
So pay with cash.
Healthcare isn't free as it's in Finn. Need to have a mandatory health insurance, which can be from 120 euros to 180 euros per month per person.
That is so fucking cheap. Stop it.
culture and people are so much more relaxed when comparing to Finn. Not so many annoying rules for everything.
Because you guys are stuffy and next to Russia.
People are crazy about sandwiches and pancakes. Like, is there any other Dutch food?
Potatoes.
Literally everyone speaks super good English. Older generation as well.
Because they understand to get anywhere with the people that have the most money, you need to speak English.
Top things from Finnish.
It's all about the money.
Listen, it's a good joke. It's a great joke, even. But I need you to stop anyway.
I am a child of divorce. Disney.
Listen.
Oh, I'm a child of divorce, and the two things next to each other are Free Guy and Black Widow. Chantal's like, yeah, that's pretty. Like, live here 3 years, and I understand why the Netherlands is the way it is. It's a really tough language. It's not a tough language. You're not a complicated people. Yeah. Why is it not complicated? Because ain't nobody give a shit. And when you don't give that much of a shit.
So I don't know if you need to hear this, but I'm going to tell you it anyways, because with the day that I'm having, I could definitely hear it too. In this moment, right here, right now, you're okay. Things are okay. Just breathe.
I mean, I use the true size of map constantly just to look at various other things. And yeah, the Mercator projection does a disservice to Australia because it's near the middle. And everything in the north part looks so much bigger. But when you drag Australia over to the United States, you realize it's just as wide. No wonder people in Canberra don't give a about people in Perth. You think the people in Los Angeles give a crap about Baltimore?
No, but I feel that's more for other reasons.
Oh, true.
Did anyone else go to like a private or like religious school and then one day you just realize like,
yeah, that was one of the most terrifying fucking things I've ever seen in my life. Nope.
Did anyone else go to like a just sitting out here enjoying the view? So
The dog is like face up against the door or the wall. I'm just out here enjoying the view, and so is my blind dog, who's like face up against a pug, so he's face up against a wall.
Several hours after humanity disappears, lights all around the world will start to shut down, since most power stations work on fossil fuel. Without people, there won't be anybody to charge them, so they will stop. 48 hours after registering a sudden drop in energy consumption, nuclear power plants will switch to safety mode. Windmills will keep working until the lubricant runs out. Solar panels will also eventually become useless due to dust deposits. Nearly every region, except for the ones supplied by hydroelectric power stations, will have their power cut off. On the west of the United States, the generators of Hoover Dam are activated by the water flow from Lake Mead. Thus, it can be left unattended for several months or even years. 2 or 3 days after we vanish from the planet, most metros in the world are going to be flooded because the pumps that protect them from the underground waters won't work without people.
Or power.
Good morning, bad news.
There's no mental health. Bad. And enjoy.
Remember, you gotta do what. Indoctrinating kids into.
Oh, it's 9 o'clock. What's up, Jeremiah? Just looked up and I see your thing, and it's also 9 o'clock. I'm just browsing TikToks because I'm getting a little lightheaded. I'm trying to. Should probably be heading to bed soon. I have to get up super early to get to practice.
Just found out about homophobia.
Look at this: cinnamon toast crunch seasoning blend and Twix seasoning blend. Who would need that besides me? I'm getting both. Look at this.
Hello again, millennials and Gen X. Are you actually a Zennial? Let's find out. Have you ever used a floppy disk?
I hate that audio. Because, like, a lot of people have done all of that stuff and are still outside the block of it. It's like the whole, like, boomer tests. You can't even change your own oil. No, but I can pick up a manual and do it for the first time. You can't do that with a PDF. Many millennials, and especially a lot of Gen Z, don't know how to do things because they've left it up to the fact that they are going to be able to look it up.
Yeah.
It's 9 o'clock. I'm going to go bed. What's that? What is this? What? Right before the last game of the season, coach tells me he wants to try a 3-front and put one of the ends, me, at QB spy. No idea what I'm doing and have a game on Tuesday. At this point, my brain just says, good luck! You have a game on Tuesday. It's currently Saturday. You guys are going from a 4-front to a 3-front, and you're being a QB spy. Holy shit.
Good luck.
Good luck. Thoughts and prayers. Oh, that's the yawning. I'm gonna go to bed. Oh, and edit that video tomorrow.